Okay, awesome. I am able to record it. So we just read the question. This is from the 2017 past paper. It says, Figure 3 shows two orthographic views of a cast iron bracket in first angle projection. Make a neat, well-proportioned isometric sketch of this design with X as the lowest point. Alright? Do not reproduce the given views. Now, Corey, why would the instructions be not to reproduce the orthographic views? Think about time management. Why wouldn't they want you to redraw this entire orthographic view? If they're asking you to just draw the isometric, right? They wouldn't want you to draw the orthographic because that would do what?
That would the time, I don't know, sir.
Yeah, it would slow you down because you're only given 45 minutes to complete one of these questions, right? So if you're spending time on drawing the orthographic, which is already there, you're wasting valuable time. Alright? Right. So tell me now, what two views are you given right here? What are the two views you see on the screen?
The end view and the front view. So what I think they're trying to do is make us do the plan view.
Right? So through the isometric drawing, you're going to figure out the plan view. Alright? Correct. But you don't have to draw the plan view, you just need to draw the isometric.
Oh, this is easy
Yes.
because given that you have the end view and the plan view,
No,
use the isometric one.
you have the end view and the front view. Remember the acronym FEP? Let me write the acronym for you. FEP. So look at this for me now. The acronym is F. Remember the FEPEF. So the first part of it is front end and then the plan, and then the third angle would be plan end and then the front. But in this one we have the front and the end. So those are the two views I give you, the front and the end, and you are to draw the isometric sketch. Good morning, Jessica and Josh. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So we're attempting a 2017 past paper. We're going to go through it step by step. So the first thing I wanted to do is just to quickly tell me what angle projection is here. If this is the front and this is the end, what angle projection is it based on the diagram right here? Is it first or third angle projection? Josh, isn't it? Is it first or third? It's first. It's first. This is the front view. This is the end view. The only view that you're not given is the plan view. So the question wants you to draw the isometric sketch. So I'm gonna go through it step by step with you guys, alright? And I just want you to follow along. So let me just load up AutoCAD. We're gonna do this question as furthest as possible for today. Let me just log in. There we go. So Jessica, you can go ahead and request to log in. I'll just accept you in. Alright? Let me log in. Okay, so let me just smart my screen now. And everybody's going to tell me now the steps to getting this isometric sketch. So you should be drawing it alongside with me. The very first thing you need to do is to get what? Your template. So before you begin drawing anything, you need to open your template. So for persons like Corey and Josh, you've been using the same template which has all of your drawings, which is a good idea. So you just need to go back on that design. Here we go. Alright, now let me open my template. Go to template. This is Josh's template. Let me use mine. Exam mech. Here we go. Now I'm going to use this one. This is an exam template. So exam template mech 2015. There we go. And once you're opening the template, you should see. Well, let me small the screen a little bit more. You should see now. Let me just go on a layer properties, Here we go. So I'm going to turn on the construction layer. Alright, and this drawing I put here just to make sure that you can see the construction layer you should draw. So you should delete that, and we're going to begin drawing. So here we go. Let's test if we can draw a line. Excellent. So we're ready to begin. First person to start us off, Zachary. How would you go about getting this isometric sketch out?
So I would add up the 25 and the 80 on the bottom line, and then I'd make the line of that 30 degrees in the isometric view.
Right. Exactly. Okay, let's do that. So let's go to isometric snap firstly.
And that would act as a base for the rest of the drawing.
Excellent. And let's turn on our grid. Okay, I see Jessica requesting. Let me just log you in. Approve. There you go. All right, let's turn on the grid. 1 second. I might not be able to turn on the grid because this is not. Okay, we don't have to worry about the grid. Let's draw our 30-degree line. We can go specifically at a 30-degree angle. There we go. So it's locked at a 30-degree angle, and you see that I should draw it at 100 millimeters because we're adding 100 plus the 80. Sorry, the 80 plus the 20, which gives us 100. Excellent. So we know the length on the X. So this is our X. Let's put text. Alright. Let's put 0. This X represents our lowest point. Let me just change this to text. So always stick with your layers. So if you're writing text, you go to your text layer. There you go. Alright, make your drawing neat. So that's our first line. Let me continue now on the left side. So let me ask Josh. Josh, you there?
Yes, sir.
Right. If we know that the distance across is supposedly 100, how would we know the distance that goes beyond in the width? So we know the length, how would we know the width? Which view do we use, the front or the end view? Wouldn't we use, right, we would use the end view to find out the width. Alright? So what's the width based on the end view?
Is 80 plus 25 plus 25?
Everybody agrees? Alright, I hear no rejection. So we're gonna say 80 plus 25 is 105. 105 plus 25, 130. So we're gonna go 130 in the opposite direction. That's what you're telling me. So let's just draw that. So to lock it to 150 degrees, I just put 150, tab. I'm gonna put 130, and there I go. Alright. Now I can begin to draw my isometric box. Let me just draw the parallel lines. What's the height of this object? Let's look back on the diagram. What's the height of the object? What view would I use to tell the height of the object? Jessica. Does the front view tell you the height of the object? Jessica?
No, I mean not that. But I just like that.
Right.
The front view does tell you the height. Like,
So if you look at it, the front view, which is this, it's very hard to tell the height because it doesn't give you any vertical dimensions. It only gives you horizontal dimensions. So to look for the height now, we use the end view. Do you see a vertical dimension right here? Let me zoom in right over here. How much is this? It's 80 plus 30. So that means the object has a height of 80 plus 30. What's 80 plus 30? That's 110, correct? Right, so let's draw a height of 110. Here we go. And the best way to just save time, you're just gonna control and copy So you're just gonna copy this, paste it at each corner. 1, 2. And now all we have to do is do the fun part of AutoCAD, which is just copying this line. Let's copy this line. Let's paste it above here. Let's copy this line. And let's paste it below here. There we go. Let's copy this line. Okay. And this is our completed isometric box. There we go. Excellent.
Kind of confused.
Alright, where did I lose you?
How do you know what angles to put the lines at?
Yeah, so it's isometric. So because we're using isometric, we know our angle is always going to be 30 degrees, right?
Okay.
Right. So what you should do, go in these settings, and you're going to go on polar tracking and change your angle to 30. Alright, so now when you're drawing, it's going to advise you, hey, Corey, this is the 30-degree angle. Alright? So that's how you know exactly where your angle is. Because if I compare these two lines, they would be the same angle. Let's prove it. Do you see that? Same angle. Alright, clear now?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now, because you're finished with detailing our construction box and our lowest point, now we're going to change our layer. Alright, we're going to change our layer.
There's right to interrupt it, sir, but when you do it as a box, does it make it easier for the...
Can you repeat that?
When you do it as a box, does it make it easier for the drawing?
Yes, it makes it a lot easier, and I'll prove it to you. So, let's use another construction line. So this is a little bit of a different color. They're both still construction lines, but it makes life easier. So look at this for me now. Since this is the front view, we know that at this point, alright, what's going to happen? We have a distance of 20. Do you see that? Right.
From the bottom line to the top line, that's a 20.
Right. So we wouldn't start. So let me explain that for you, Zachary. Because this line, X right here, we couldn't start X down here. Right? We have to start it up here. Right? But just to explain it for you, I have a quick little sketch to show you. Understand? So this is a rough sketch of the drawing. Everybody see it?
Yes, sir.
So let me compare the images. Let me open the images beside it so you can compare them. And I want to tell me now if you understand what's happening. Let me just quickly go here. So, to get this 20 right here, we're going to begin by drawing it on this side. So we're going to say, let me go out for you. We're going to go a distance, right, of, I think this is 15, but let's check if it's correct. What's the distance of here to here? How would we find that distance? Think critically and try to tell me now. How would you find the distance of here to here?
And sir, it's kind of, I think it's
Wait, 1 second. Let me put in my earphones. I can't really hear you. 1 second. 1 second. Let me turn on the earphone. 1 sec. Alright. Can you repeat that for me now? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Right, but let me tell you something exactly. So I understand what you're saying, but let me just give you a little light. So let me just turn this off now. 1 second. Let me turn this off. So to find the distance of this, it's actually in front of you. Do you see this diagonal line right here?
Yes, sir.
Right. What's
Also,
the distance between it?
the 15.
Yeah, if you were to match it up now, going down, going down, going down, wouldn't it be the same distance across here?
Oh, yes, sir.
So that's why it would be 15. So
We just have to draw a line going up, and we do the 15, draw a line going up to the bottom line, and then we have that part of it.
right, so look here for me now. Let's draw that line. So we're gonna draw 15 going across, 15, 15. Alright? But what would be the height? So here we go, 15. But what would be the height of this short section? The height would actually be 30. Do you see that?
Yeah, 30, sir. It's 30.
Alright, let's draw that. Let's go 30 up. 30. 15.
And then across we do 100.
Alright. But just to make sure everybody's with me, Corey, you understand what we just did?
Yes, sir. But I don't have the box. I have to put the box.
Alright, no problem. But just make sure that you put it after you finish, because that's gonna secure you some marks. But I want to show you a quick little trick. You see, when you're drawing construction, you can turn up the transparency. So let's put this at 45, and it makes the line dull. Alright, so it's easier for you to make the difference between construction line and main lines when you're finished. Alright, let me go over that one more time. You're gonna go on layers, properties, look for the line that you're drawing on, and turn up the transparency to about 45, so it makes it easier for you to differentiate between construction lines and main lines. Alright, now that we got the 30 from the height, we're gonna now extend a distance. But what will be this distance? Isn't it gonna be 80 minus 15? Is that correct? What will be the distance of this piece right here?
Distance?
Yeah, the distance. So from this point, I want to go across now.
From how should I put this? You're finding the circle inside the thing?
No, no, no. We're just trying to draw this across. Let's measure
Oh,
it.
that would be 150. Because
Alright, one second. Let me just trim this part. Alright, here we go. Okay. Alright, so let's just check it. So when you go up, you're gonna go outward now to the end of the construction box. So that's what I was saying earlier. The construction box makes your life easier. Alright? The next thing, once you finish that, you're gonna go upward now a height of 15. Alright, let's go 15 upwards. Let's go back downward. There we go. Alright, now here's the difficult part. Now it's asking you, okay, what would be the distance of this angle right here? Now, the trick to getting that, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go on the very top of this box. Let me pan it for you. And you're gonna go 20 across. You're gonna go 20 across. So let's say the 20 ends there. Alright? And then you're going to connect it back to the base there. Let's check it. Everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're gonna go from the base right here, 20 across, and you're gonna draw it back down to the, what was it, 30 height. So once we went to the 30 height, my bad, it should be here. Should be here. There we go. All right. Now once we did that one, next one, we're gonna go an angle 15 away. So let's put now copy, and we're gonna copy this line at an angle 15 millimeters away. There we go. And we're gonna trim it to match right there. But remember, we're trying to work on a time, so quickly draw these for me. There we go. And let's extend it to the top of the construction box. Alright, and let's piece it back up together. See how many persons we have? We have 4 persons in the class. Alright. Now once we finish that, let's try to fill in some detail from our end view. Alright? Sorry, not from my end view, from this angle part. Alright? So look at this for me now. From this quick little diagram I draw for you, it says that the distance to connect from the top is gonna be actually 27. But let's try to calculate it. Oh, it's right there actually. My bad. It's 27. 27. So let's go down and let's draw a line. That's 27. And let's connect it back to there. Okay. Now what was the width of this box again? Using the end view, what was the width of the box? Anybody remembers? Alright, nobody remembers?
And then was it 110?
Let's check. Distance. Alright, we said it was 100. And let's check what the distance would be. So the distance would be 130. I'm not sure why we said it was 110. It was 130. Let me just make the adjustment. So 130. Let's go to 30. Here we go. Move it. There you go. So if your box isn't correct, then everything would be incorrect. So that's why I want to make sure you emphasize on getting that completed. Make sure you get your measurements correct.
Alright, we don't use boxes. We don't usually have to.
It's alright. So for time's sake, when you're in the exam and you're doing the drawing, my advice is to complete the drawing as fast as possible, and then once you're finished, use the rest of the time to do the construction box to get the marks. Understand? So it's better you finish the drawing and secure most of the marks than you being precise in drawing everything and not finishing the drawing itself.
Okay, so like it's so confusing when I'm trying to tell a box.
Yes, sometimes it's gonna get confusing. So for argument's sake, we don't have to do it right now, but I'm just trying to make sure you get the idea behind it. So the width of the box is gonna be 130, because when we added the 25 plus 80 plus 25, that gave us 130. So let's just draw that in. I'm gonna go line. I'm gonna get 130. Here we go. Good. And now let's try to fill in some detail. We're gonna go 30 up. 30 up and go back downwards. So here's the good part about having layers. You see, if I'm missing something, Josh and everybody, I can just turn off a layer and remember where I'm picked up at. Alright? So this is the power of having layers. It makes your drawing easy to turn off and turn on, so to speak. Alright, let me turn on back the construction layer, the base construction. Okay? Next thing now we're going to draw is the overall width. Sorry, not the width, but we're going to continue to draw the height, which is 15 upwards. So we're going to go 15 up. I'm going to go draw a line across. Going downwards. Here we go. Let's check. Alright. Now, here's a little tricky part. The reason why you see it says 15 up and then you have a little block in between is because you have to pay attention to the end view. The end view shows that you have these slanted lines beside it. Alright? And here you are with the columns right here. So you must pay attention to both views while you're doing this. Because look at this. You see this 15mm slanted line? It really means you have two slanted blocks at 50mm. So that's why I want to show you this. Everybody see that?
Yes, sir.
Alright? Am I talking loud? I'm not sure because I have an earphones. But that's why you have two blocks right here. Alright? Because you have two 15mm width, not just one. So the orthographic view can be deceiving. So let's draw our first one. To get our first one, we're going to go from the middle. So we're going to look for the midpoint. We're going to look for the midpoint. Let's type in these settings and look for the midpoint. Turn on the midpoint right there. Here we go. Alright, now based on this drawing, it says we're going to go 25. We're going to go 25 to get to the first block. Alright, and then now we're going to offset, not offset, but we can just copy it. Copy and place it 15mm down. There we go. But you have to keep in mind it must be at an angle, just like you see here. So we're going to place it at an angle, right, from the base. One second. There we go. I'm going to draw this line across. Here we go. Alright. Now, to get this angle, or to find this angle rather, here's what we're going to do. We're basically going to draw the width of these boxes inward. But what was the width of the boxes? Let's look back on the orthographic. 15mm. Let's go back in here. See the distance? It's 25, so we're going to cut it down to 15. Alright, 10. There we go. That's 15mm. Once you get the 15mm, right? We're going to now draw an angled line back up to the top. I think it should be the same angled line as the original drawing. So we could copy this line, for example. We could copy this line. There we go. And there we go. There we go. Let's copy this one over here as well. There we go. Alright, now I want you to use a command called extend. Extend. Okay, there we go. Alright. You know, you're going to copy the base. To still get the design, you're going to copy the base. And then cut the shape as is. Let's copy this part as well. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's trim things now. Let's trim it down. There we go. There we go. There we go. Finally, there we go. So let's turn off the layer and see what we have. Let's turn off the layer. Alright. Alright, let's try to finish the 2 blocks before I give you the rest to do for homework. Let's turn on back the layer. Alright, let's continue. Okay, good. So, to save time, instead of drawing back this entire block, we're going to just copy this block and paste it at the distance away. So to find the distance away, we're going to go 25 millimeters on the opposite side. Alright? Why? Because the object is symmetrical on both sides. So I can do the same thing. Let's go 25 and that would tell me the distance. Or I can mirror it, but the copying is better. So let's just do that. Let's go and select line. Let's select 25 and then select 25 again. There we go. And let's copy this now. There we go. Copy. Wait 1 second. Copy. Alright. And that's that. Everybody understand what we just did?
Yes, sir.
Alright, good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you really, well, I think the drawing is actually finished. What I want you to do now is to put in the minor details, such as the hidden lines, alright? And complete the entire design. I'm going to give you 10 minutes to finish that up. Well, 8 minutes. Because once you got this part, the only part that's left to draw is the circles right here and right here. And let me show you how to do that. So let's look at this circle. It says from the point X, you're going to go 25 millimeters inward. So let's do that. Line, 25 millimeters in. 25, there we go. Alright. And let's try to find the diameter of this circle. Diameter of the circle, it says, read this from me, Corey.
Okay.
What does it say here?
20.
Right, so it says the 2 holes have a diameter of 20 millimeters. Some persons might think, oh, 2 holes, 20 millimeters, so therefore each has 10 millimeters. But no, you're just going to say 2 of them have the same diameter of 20 millimeters. So in order to get to the center, we're going to say go up 10 millimeters. Alright. Let me just draw this line. Alright. And let's now draw a line that's 10 millimeters upward. 10. What? No. Wait, let's see. Then we'll do 20, 10. Alright, let's see who's that. That's George. Alright, good morning, George. Class is in a couple minutes. Alright. So, let's keep doing this. Seems a bit too small. Let's try 20 and see. Alright, there we go. So now we're going to type ellipse, iso, but you need to change the orientation, because if you draw the circle like this, it's going to face that direction, but you want it to face on the exterior. So we're going to change this, the face by going to isoplane, and we're going to go isoplane right. Let's try it one more time, ellipse. There we go. Ellipse. Iso circle. You're gonna select here now. There you go. Alright. So we're gonna select a radius of 10. Alright. But can someone explain to me now, why is this circle off?
I can't find the doubles.
Caleb, class is in a few minutes. But Corey and Josh, why is this circle not correct? What's the one error that you see?
Is it too small?
Look at the position. Let me show you this position right here. What's the difference between this circle, which is reasonably in the middle, versus this one right here? What's the difference?
That's a difference.
Isn't it needing to be in the center of the line? So we should have found the midpoint. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And then now we move the circle in the center of that midpoint. Let's move it right here. Doesn't that make it a little bit more aesthetic and correct?
Yeah.
Right. And because we want to save time, I'm going to do something magic trick. I'm going to type mirror. I'm going to select the midpoint. And then now, oops, I forgot this. Because I'm in ISO, I can't do mirror. My bad. So let's just copy this by finding the midpoint right here. But here's a trick. You see, if you want to copy this position, you can just type copy, then specify the base point to be here, then go to this base point and paste it there. Alright, then specify enter. Let's check if we're complete. Let's look back on the diagram. No, because it says the distance between the centers should be 80. Let's measure the distance between the centers. The distance. So sometimes cutting corners is causing problems because now it's not correct. So let's look at what the problem is. The problem is the distance beyond here is a bit too much. So what I need to do is to move this circle a distance over. I think it's there. Let's measure it now. Distance between the circles. So we're gonna go 5 more millimeters over. We're gonna move, and we're gonna move it to 5 more millimeters. 5 more millimeters. Alright, let me just move it over 5 more millimeters. 5. And there we go. Let's measure it one last time. There we go. So that's gonna be your homework, guys. I did 90%, well, not 90%, I think 60% of the work. I want you to complete this drawing now. I'm gonna post the picture on the portal. Alright, let me copy image address, save image. And then now you should see it on the portal later on today. Alright, technical drawing S5.